Thank you all for joining. Welcome to the Sia Community Call. My name is Oliver, and we're going to give everyone a breakdown of what we've been up to in the month of June. A recording of this call will be made available via YouTube, so you can play it back at your own pace and share it with others. Starting with Wallet D, we've recently released the version 0.8.0 on testnet, with a few attractive additions to handling your funds. Within the UI, you can now see multiple wallets in a single and convenient way, meaning that it now has support for Sia coins and Sia funds. This means better funding management, making it easier for users to monitor different wallets simultaneously, and catering to those that still hold Sia funds. For a broad appeal, we've also made Wallet D compatible to support the Ledger wallet, for those that want to maintain security and already use Ledger devices. Moving on to Host D and Rent D, not much to update here other than following the release of Host D's version 1.1.1, we fixed the value calculation for unconfirmed transactions seen in the wallet to reduce any confusion and errors you may have saw before and providing accurate displays of transactions. Also for Host D, we've removed auto calculation for max collateral, granting storage providers within the network greater control of setting their collateral amounts manually and allow them to make decisions based on specific needs and risk tolerance. For Rent D, we've carried out major optimizations for performance of nodes that exceed 1 petabyte, meaning fast data access and future-proofing. Also with development updates, our Sia native IPFS daemon FSD is now in public view on GitHub, ready for integrators to take the first look at Sia's optimized IPFS node. FSD is tailored for accessing data via the Sia network and for large-scale storage retrieval, backed by renter nodes. It's very easy to set up using Docker, so go check it out. Looking at our metrics for June, our utilized storage is at 1.376 petabytes. Active contracts are 36,645. Network capacity sits at 7.668 petabytes. And the number of online hosts has dipped a bit to 526, so make sure to keep your node up to date with the current release of our software. GitHub activity is a new metric to bring to the call, and we'll further look into how we can keep you guys informed of our development efforts and community contribution. In terms of Discord growth and activation, hosting stands at the top with 558 messages within the last month, with an addition of 45 new members to our Discord community. As hosting has been the most active channel, the hottest topics of discussion have been around cryptocurrency, a new wallet, contract management, port forwarding, and managing your host. Moving on to events, in our previous call we did mention that we will be attending Mainnet in New York and currently working towards the format of our sponsored session. And that will conclude our year with 3 major Web3 conferences Sia has sponsored and attended, and we're always open to attend events for next year that we see fitting to us. This month has been a bit slim for content, but we're slowly picking up momentum again. We have the State of Sia, a blog post, the June edition, that went out last week, and we have 3 videos in the pipeline too. We're also aiming to include the Host D and Rent D Docker setup guide in the documentation, and always looking for ways to educate and support users through our online resources. We have 3 newly approved grants. First up is Sia NFS Gateway, which aims to provide access to the Sia buckets through a network file system interface, thus enabling clients to access files without the need of Sia clients or any operating system restrictions. Secondly, we have the S5 network, which is a content address data routing network. And lastly, we have Sia Learn, and this project aims to build video streaming platform which will educate developers and users on how to integrate with Sia's Rentity infrastructure.
Yes, I hope you are doing all right. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the Sia modular Telegram bot. So it's an adaptable Telegram bot that interfaces with the Sia API, in particular with the hostd API, but the project is built to really easily extend it, meaning that if you want to add the renter API, that's possible. This was my initial architecture, but due to some time constraints, I wasn't able to build it like this. So this is the end or the architecture of this project. So basically what you can do is you deploy the bot using the bot folder of Telegram, and then people or yourself can subscribe to events. These events can easily be extended, meaning that it's super modular to build your own alarms or whatever on top of the architecture itself. If you want to run it, you gotta install the requirements and then basically just run the main.py file, but also a little bit more about the Telegram setup and the configuration of the thresholds itself in the documentation.md file. So yeah, I'm going to show you the bot in action in a second. So like I said, you can start the bot with an easy command python 3 main.py. You will then start, and based on that you can go to your Telegram groups and see what's happening here. I get these alerts already because I set up some mock alerts just to show you what's happening. So the storage threshold, the balance threshold, and some other alerts I subscribe to. You can see all the subscriptions you have. So you have basically subscriptions for alerts, and there you can subcategorize it in 3 different subcategories or 4, like critical, info, and so on. Then you subscribe for a balance threshold and for the storage threshold. You can also cancel. So by cancel event, you cancel event, and then obviously the event ID. So from now on, you won't see anything anymore. You can see whatever is possible here, sign up for event, get the current balance of the hostee, and yeah, it's super easy to extend it. Like I said, you basically have to add the threshold logic into main py. The hostd handler has to be extended with your request, which is also straightforward. And other people are also able to subscribe to your events and all this kind of stuff. So I hope in the future I have some collaborations or feature requests. Have a good day.
So moving on to our community questions. First question is, what would be the next big update? So our primary development goal for 2024 is to launch the version 2 hard fork. So V2 is the code name for a massive overhaul of Sia's consensus mechanisms. It will modernize Sia's core consensus code and provide a number of usability, performance, and quality of life improvements to the network. The next question is, are you planning on listing Sia on other exchanges? So yes, we are. We are in contact with a number of new exchange partners and always looking for more on-ramp to integrate with. Another question that came in was, when will any public testnet like UTXO be available for testing on a public testnet or through release code? So we have a public testnet called Anagami, and we have been running it for 4 months now. We will be resetting Anagami to include renters and hosts soon. The next step is to test the hard fork for the production testnet on Zen, and once we're satisfied with the usability on both testnets, we'll announce the upgrade plans for mainnet. Another question that came in was, would it make sense to have the runtime network selection in the new apps instead of using the build flags? So WalletD already supports a runtime flag to select the network. HostD and RentD cannot support this yet because they rely on the legacy SID consensus module. We are upgrading HostD and RentD to a new core consensus module, which will enable them to support the runtime flag too. And the last question was, if I have bandwidth to test and I'm learning as I go, how can I best help the community? So you can just set up a renter or host on the Zen testnet. You can learn from it, you can test it out, see what it can do, and then you can contribute to the community on your experience on using it. But yeah, thank you very much for your questions this month, Sky. So looking at our development goals, our primary development focus is to launch the hard fork. There are a number of accessibilities, quality of life and performance improvements that will bring for both storage consumers and providers after the hard fork. We will work on removing onboarding friction for developers, consumers, and enterprises by implementing lighter work agents to enable uploading and downloading to remote Rentity nodes without proxying the API, improving horizontal scalability for businesses and enterprises, allowing users to download and upload files directly from the network or from their devices, creating easier SDKs for builders to interact with the Sia network directly, facilitating direct uploads and downloads instead of proxying the Rentity worker API, enabling the generation of addresses and signing transactions offline in languages other than Go, and also developing a product targeting regular consumers such as tech enthusiasts and blah, blah, blah. And lastly, developing a product that's targeting regular consumers rather than just tech enthusiasts and developers. So moving on to our growth goals, we've been uploading public data sets for a while now with good results, and we're going to build a portal to provide public access to what we've uploaded and formally partner with other nonprofits to offer their data sets on Sia, available via the IPFS or S3 gateway. We have received some integration and partnership interest from meeting at Paris Blockchain Week and Consensus, and we're working on ironing out those details, and we'll post the individual announcements as they solidify. Thank you all for joining this month's call. We'll catch you in August for the next call. We'll leave the chat open for a few more minutes for any questions to be answered. Thank you for listening.